Going into this World Cup, the pressure that Thomas Tuchel put himself under was just immense. From the players he refused to call up to the color of his passport, the English press did its thing, a steady supply of yays and nays. However, for the time being, the yays look as though they may be winning the battle. In what was undoubtedly the best game of the tournament so far, England ran away as 4-2 winners over Croatia, the same nation that knocked them out of the 2018 World Cup semifinals. Granted, this Croatia is probably not of the same caliber as that Croatia, and England technically already exercised those demons by beating Croatia in the 2020 Euros, but this will certainly go a very long way to building belief that they can go even further than they did 8 years ago. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well, welcome back. I cannot remember for the life of me the last Gareth Southgate game where England looked so in control, so entertaining, so positive. Was there even a last game where that happened? I'm not talking about winning 10-0 against San Marino or anything like that. I'm talking about doing it against the big boys and entertaining while they're at it. I mean, we do have to give Gareth Southgate credit for something. You know, a lot has been said about how he's been that galvanizing force that, you know, really squashed all the beefs that a lot of players used to have when they come from clubs and join the national team. But if Southgate was that unifying force, then Thomas Tuchel, he really needs to be the guy that turns this new unity into silverware. Either that, or he may get deported. We're going to be talking about a couple games in this video after we speak about the Croatia ones. Some of them I watched, some of them I didn't. Stick around and you'll see. Subscribe if you haven't. It would make my dog very happy. Harry Kane was just sublime all game long. 2 goals for him, a penalty and a great header. A retaken penalty where the keeper really shot himself in the foot by being off his line for the first one. He didn't need to do that. And a great header where Kane was pretty much unmarked, by the way. Let's go ahead and leave the best player on the planet completely unmarked, shall we? It's an interesting call by the Croatians. And listen, I know some people may be triggered when I say that he's the best player in the world, but I just think he is, okay? He's the complete package, and I really think it's a shame that it took him moving to Bayern Munich for some people to either, admit it, and others to realize it. It's very obvious from Thomas Tuchel's selections, particularly of the wingers, that he was looking to build around Kane coming deep and spraying out wide to those wide players running in behind. Although I'm not sure if even Tuchel thought that Kane would also end up being England's best central defender too. Noni Madueke's width was crucial in this game, and England fashioned a lot of opportunities thanks to that great positioning of his, but I just know that they'll be wishing that they could have taken advantage of that a little bit more. I was just losing a little bit on stream by how slow he was in his decision making and his aversion to using his right foot. I double checked and he only attempted 1 cross all game, with that cross leading to a Bellingham chance. I just think that if you're there and your job is to keep your width and drive to the line, which is what it looks like his job was, I think he needs to improve. That first time cross, for example, was on for him quite a couple times and he just chose not to do it. Other than that though, he did have a good game overall. And it's not like England don't have options if they want to switch things up. The penalty that he won was probably fair. Hard luck for Modric there, who really didn't have all that good of a game, did he? Although on the positives for Croatia, I thought they were very responsive, especially when they went down twice in that first half and got 2 really good goals. First, an absolute worldie from Baturina. Pickford will be kicking himself for getting a hand on it but not keeping him out. Second was arguably even more beautiful. Perisic sneaks in right over here, causing Reece James a bit of bother. Sees the run and it's a good ball, but Perisic can't do much in his body position. Back to goal and all. And then the header for Musa. This assist is just incredible. And it's 2-2. There wasn't anything to separate these two teams by the time halftime came around, and I feel like that is a lot more of a flattering statement for Croatia than for England, because if we're all being completely honest, England are the much stronger side here. You know, they should not have allowed a Croatia who were in the middle of a deep transition to be so competitive against them. Konza and Stones were really not on it. Pickford also seemed a little bit shaky on the overall. With some direct runners, a couple more quality balls into the final third, this English defense, they're running into a lot of trouble because they were undone over here by exactly that. And these goals that were scored against them, I feel like they were avoidable. But, and again, to be a fly on the wall in that England dressing room, would be really something, because whatever was said by them that made them realize everything that I just said, it worked. because the gap in quality by the time everyone came out in the second half was very evident. Bellingham came out like a man possessed, drove down the right, and made me think the year was 2023. England were really peppering the goal. If not for Croatia's goalkeeper Livakovic, we're looking at a really embarrassing scoreline for Croatia. But can we for a second talk about how Thomas Tuchel brought on 3 attackers when they were a goal up late in the game? Somewhere across the pond, Gareth Southgate was wondering if any of this was legal. England's subs seriously were just incredible. What do you mean Morgan Rogers, Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford, Mark Gahey, and Jed Spence all came off the bench? 4 of those 5 subs were incredible almost immediately after coming on and directly contributed to that 4th goal. Saka, Spence, and Rogers all worked the right, then passed it over to Rashford, told him to win his 1v1, and he made it happen. By the way, for anyone watching, the price went up. England were great all round. Almost all round. You know, no complaints for Declan Rice. Great corners. Anderson was great. Reece James was also good when he moved into the midfield after Declan Rice went off. That centre-back pairing, though. Gahey likely starts the next game, but let's see. This is clearly not the Croatia side of the last 8 years or so. Nowhere near as strong in the midfield. No Rakitic, no Brozovic. By the 60th minute, they all just looked very gassed. Modric was poor by his standards. Kovacic was okay. I don't think he missed any passes actually, but you know, just not enough to get past them. England's entire attack came from the right as well, which just so happened to be on the same side that Josko Vardiol was defending, who by the way is probably Croatia's star player after Modric, the guy that's supposed to lead them into the next generation. And well, he's the current generation. Never mind, what am I talking about? He wasn't looking good. He looked like a man that was just coming back from injury, which he is. Livakovic was definitely their man of the match, 7 saves for him, but it really does say quite a bit when your goalkeeper is your man of the match and you've lost the game 4-2. So, is it coming home? Well, it's coming to someone's home. As for England, why not? I don't know, why not, right? After the first round of games, I think that they probably look like the strongest team so far. I mean, listen, opposition and everything, we take that into consideration, but we only talk about what we've seen. But yeah, I mean, them and France definitely have had the best results out of all the teams, considering opposition. So watch this space. Before we get into some other games, I have bills to pay. This video is sponsored. The World Cup is here and the number of games is truly astounding. However, it's always the same things that can kind of derail the experience. Here's the first. You're abroad. The kickoff is at a strange hour. The commentary is in a language you're struggling with. The second is a bit less obvious. You're at home, on your sofa, and a quiet crowd of trackers is watching you watch the match. How rude. That's where today's sponsor, Proton VPN, comes in. With streaming service in 145 countries, you can connect back to your home broadcaster from anywhere. Your commentary, your build-up, your pundits that you grew up watching. And while you do that, Proton VPN masks your real IP and keeps a strict no-log policy, so nobody is quietly cataloging what you stream. The app is open source, independently audited, and ran out of Switzerland. If that sounds good to you, use the link in the description for an exclusive World Cup offer with up to 70% off for football iconic viewers. Thanks again to Proton VPN for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. The Golden Boot is off to an incredible start with all the usual suspects clawing at the top of the chart. Mbappe, Haaland, Kane, all on 2, Messi on 3. Fowler and Balogun too, talking about coming home. You know, it's already there. It's not going to have to travel too far for him, is it? Think about it. Speaking of which, let's have some words on the defending champions. So I did not watch this game because it was on at silly hours for me. Silly hours that I'm up at right now, by the way, recording this video. But I did see the extended highlights and I like what I saw. This man is a magician, isn't he? The first goal, the control, the strike, gets the shot off with virtually no backlift. Keeper probably should be doing better here, shouldn't he? By the way, Algeria's keeper is Zinedine Zidane's son. Zizou did not look impressed. For the second goal, Zizou was looking even more unimpressed. Ball gets parried right back to Messi. Check out his movements here. A slight motion as if he's going left, then he goes right. The third was just textbook Messi. I've seen him score this goal 1,000 times over the last 20 years. No chance for the keeper. He had a goal disallowed too. Just keep that in mind. It's really maddening stuff. This guy was supposed to move over to the side for Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, but he's just too stubborn. It's a little bit rude. In any case, Argentina have started their title defense strong. France are in a similar position. Time and time again, we see people committing A truly cardinal sin, doubting World Cup Kylian Mbappe. But to be fair, this claim does have some merits to it. Mbappe was non-existent in that first half. As a matter of fact, all of France were non-existent in that first half. They were pretty lucky to go into halftime without being down a goal, thanks to some really poor finishing by Senegal. However, as the second half came in, Les Bleus sprang to life. As soon as Olise moved central, Ousmane Dembele took his place on the right, who, by the way, was also non-existent Ballon d'Or holder, not a great look. Michael Olise, though, a really good shout for Ballon d'Or winner if France do go ahead and win this competition. Think about that. Is one of a kind. Two picturesque passes that he made. One of them was a miss by Mbappe. The second one was the first goal for France. Barcola gets the second, and Mbappe scores one of the goals of the tournament for his brace. Allez les Bleus. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a tiny bit in the mud over here because I had Portugal as one of my favorites to win the whole tournament. I actually had them as my favorite to win the tournament in my predictions video, but after watching their opening game, I'm not entirely sure. And what makes this even worse is that I had Spain in the final with them, and yeah, out of all the favorites, they have definitely looked the worst. So it tells you all you need to know about my judgment. Portugal looked so unbelievably flat against the DRC. Congo, for their part, were just incredible defensively. Shout out Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wissa scored a cracking header. He was virtually unmarked, which kind of reflects the quality or, lack thereof that this Portugal side was exhibiting in this game. I still don't really understand how João Neves keeps getting on the end of headers. Whatever he's doing, it's working. All eyes were on Ronaldo in this game. The little boy in me was hoping that Ronaldo was about to rewind the clock and go back to 2012 and go blow for blow with Lionel Messi. Messi saw Haaland and Mbappe scored 2 goals and was like, you guys scored 2, I scored 3. I was hoping Ronaldo was going to be like, you score 3, I score 4. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. He had 2 good opportunities that I counted at least in this game, and he fluffed his lines both times. He even stole a ball that was clearly meant for Bruno Fernandes that probably would have gotten Portugal their second goal. The honest truth that I think a lot of Ronaldo fans are failing to admit to themselves is that Ronaldo has never really been great at World Cups. Apart from an incredible performance against Spain 8 years ago, and a hat-trick, and a great hat-trick in that one, he hasn't really done much. It's kind of been a competition where he famously doesn't really perform. He just shouldn't be starting. I mean, he just shouldn't be. But let's be real, that's not going to happen. I'm still fairly certain that Portugal make it out of their groups, but I think there is a lot of work to do if they want to have a deep tournament run. And there we have it. Let me know your thoughts on the World Cup so far and everything that's happened. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll be doing a watch along for the South Africa versus Czechia game later on, so you can come along, say what's up. I think we're building a really nice group for these watch alongs. It's fun, and I yap a little bit too much. That's all for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.